so irritating. Unasikia tu push, push, push. Why? What is the reason? What is the reason for all that? What? The universe gave you things like from where? Like hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, as you can tell from the title of the video, we are doing a makeup session, also sharing some of my unpopular opinions with you guys. And they're just my opinions. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Okay, hair is done. It's giving that like beautiful wet look. I really love it. I just use a little bit of water and some mousse, and that's it, because that's all I knew how to do about that. So number one, omena is amazing. Go argue with your grandmother, okay? Omena is amazing. And the funny thing with it is I wasn't always for that opinion. I just use an eyeshadow primer. It's the first time I'm using it, by the way. I bought it today and I just want to test it out to see how it is and how well it actually performs, even though I'm going to do this look and then remove everything. Wow. I'm also going in with my eyeshadow base just to prep the eye, because we are doing something simple but still vibrant. Because if it does not have color, is it really me? Is it really me? So when I was a bit younger, I think maybe like in primary school, we used to go to one of our cousins, and at their house they really like omena. And guys, if you don't know, I'm low, so obviously in a lot of the relatives that I visit, I obviously would find omena. And I just didn't like how it used to be prepared, because I felt like if you prepare it like soupy and plus with the head, it was just like, it's so not tasty at all. So every time that I would go to that relative's house and I would eat the omena, I would always end up like just biting off the heads and not eating it. And I know they used to feel like, hey, dame, I kind of meringue, but it wasn't meringue. I just used to feel like, hey, apano. And then now later on, when we got kids, and then one day, I don't know if it's me or Ian who tried to cook, and then it turned out so good, and I was like, what? I have been missing out. It was so good, guys. So after that, nowadays we cook omena on a regular. In fact, nimetoka tu ku order 2 kgs of omena, because who am I? Omena is amazing. Si chakula ya paka, okay? It is not cat's food. And if you feel like that, you need help. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Wow, guys, I've noticed that usually if I don't put an eyeshadow, but usually when I usually just put my eyeshadow primer like straight up, it always creases. And now with the eyeshadow primer, it is barely creasing, and I've not even added any eyeshadow. Wow, meshaanza kuni impress. But the real test of it itakwa when I wear it like the whole day, and then now we'll see how longevous it will be. I'm adding some brown to the outer edges. We're doing a very simple but very sweet light pinkish look. The palettes that I'm using is this one from Reina Beauty, and this one from Blossom African Queen. This one is from Shop Italia. This one is from Reina Beauty on IG. My second unpopular opinion would be that action movies are overrated. What? Mitch, why would you say that? But they're honestly so overrated. Push, push, push. Why? What is the reason? What is the reason for all that blood and violence and guns? And why? What is it? You find that entertaining? You find that entertaining? And entertaining? Are you serious? Oh wow, guys, I am really impressed with this eyeshadow primer. Usually the mattes in this palette, they're usually really chalky looking, but with the eyeshadow primer, I feel like they look even like more pigmented. I know my camera is not showing it so much, but it looks really nice. Alafu I separate. Okay, one of these ones that I'm about to say. Okay, let me just say it, and then if you have a different opinion about it, I really would love to know, because I feel like it's just something that people had somebody say and then it just spread, but people don't really understand the magnitude of what it means when they say that. Like when people say the universe gave me things, my unpopular opinion is, what? The universe gave you things? Like, from where? Like, does the universe have the ability to give you things, or you've just taken the glory, or rather, yeah, the glory, or like umechukua like you've taken what is essentially meant to be something that God has done for you to be the universe. And if you don't agree with me, I would really love to know in the comment section, because I feel like this is something that I hear so often with so many people, and I would really love to pick their brain. Like, okay, when you say the universe gave you a house, gave you a car, what exactly does that entail? Like, does that entail like, what exactly does that entail? This whole concept of manifesting is actually, if you're not careful, okay, it's actually, the concept of it is actually biblical in terms of speaking what you want to happen. That is actually biblical, because in the Bible it says that whatever you speak, that's what is gonna happen, because your words have power. And initially when God created words, he didn't intend for them to be for communication, but for creation. So when you say something, then it goes out and then it becomes whatever you have said it. So if you say I am rich, if you say I am wealthy, if you say I own this house, I own this property, that eventually, if you say it long enough and if you keep putting in the effort and sort of manifesting, and by manifesting I mean putting in the work, making sure that you're making all the available resources available to you, like work in that direction. So that means putting in the hours, putting in the time, putting in the strategy. Then that is what now brings about, you know, the realization of whatever it is that you've been saying. I feel like that's what people usually confuse with the modern day manifestation. Some of these things honestly are just things that we have had from the Western world, and or even online, and then we take them and we claim them as our own, like the universe give me this. But actually, if I ask you the depths of it, like when you say the universe gave you this, what actually do you mean? Like, can you give me a solid answer, and with proof and with backup? Can you? And I really really want to know, because I hear it so often and I'm like, do people understand that it is literally taking glory away from God, that it is he who has done these things for you? And if he were to say, you know what, oh, the universe nomnosema in our party, and then he just stops actually giving you all those things because you attribute it to the wrong person and you are transferring his glory to something else, what would you actually do? What would you, if he actually stopped and he said, oh, the universe, no, okay, sir, what one universe nini? It is well, it's similar to you taking the creation and then equating it to the creator. You understand what I mean? Like, the universe is a creation. It is not the creator. It is not the thing that brings about or manifests things. The person who does that is God. So in you saying that it's the universe who gives you things, actually it usually just, I'm usually like, the universe. Okay. Another one that I feel like is such an unpopular opinion, like ketchup. What is ketchup, and why is it so popular? I feel like ketchup is just such an unnatural taste. Like, it is the ketchup is usually so bitter. Like, it has such a heavy taste, in my opinion. Like, me, I love sauce. I love tomato sauce, not the like super watery one they usually have put like so much water. No, but like just the original nice ketchup, just down with fries. It is so good. Ketchup, it's just like, it's so heavy. Like, what is ketchup? Do you guys like ketchup, or do you like tomato sauce? And no, you're not changing me over to the ketchup side, because I have tried different kinds of ketchup. The expensive ketchup, the cheap ketchup, the in between ketchup. I don't like it. I don't like any of it. Mimi, the tomato sauce yango, we're good. We're good. Guys, this is what happens when you put the wrong eyelash on the wrong eye. You see over here it looks super thick, and over here it's super small, so it makes my eye look big over here and small over here. Wow. But this one, I think I just put the wrong lash on this side, because this one looks pretty nice. I accidentally put so much of this darker foundation instead of the lighter one, which is my color, so I'm just going to use it to contour a little bit. Oh, I like that. It gives us like sort of natural contour. I've already prepped my face, guys. I've done my moisturizer, I've done my serum, primer. Now we're moving on to the cream. So another one of my unpopular opinions, zodiac signs. All I'm going to say about zodiac signs is make sure you do your research. There's so many things that we hear from the West, and they are trendy and they're so cool, but if you actually look at it, it is actually, just do your research, guys. Just do your research and then learn what zodiac signs are, the origins of it, who used to, or who rather started that whole thing about zodiac signs. I remember when I was younger, because there was still that talk of, you know, zodiac signs and what's your horoscope and all that. And I remember even when I used to get like newspapers in primary school, and I would see over there that section that they put for horoscopes, that is due this month, your sign is doing this. I thank God I grew up and I was able to do my own research, because that's exactly what you should also be doing, because yeah. My next one is, can we normalize not exposing kids to phones and gadgets so early on? I feel like for a lot of parents who, yes, you have given your kids a training, and yes, you know, you trust your kid with the necessary, like you just trust your kids with what they're gonna watch. A lot of the times, especially when, you know, and they're so young, like a kid is like 4-5 years old and they have a phone and it has YouTube and it has TikTok and it has all these things, and not that they're bad, but we all know there's a negative side to it. Can we normalize not giving our kids phones when they're that young? Like, give them the opportunity to get older. And I know sometimes kids can really bug you, and they're like, you know what, my friend has it. But I'm usually just like, you know what, at this particular stage of your life, I don't feel like you need a phone. And even if I would buy you a phone, I would probably buy you a kabambi, honestly, like just for communicating. And then I think that also would help to reduce the amount of screen time, because if you reduce the amount of screen time, which is actually what we did, I realized that it actually helps the kids to become more creative. I remember a while back, our kids would come back from school and then they would be able to watch TV or whatever they wanted to do after they finished, you know, showering and doing their homework. And then we went to visit Susie's homestead, and either we went to visit her, Ama, I had her saying before in one of her videos, and she was like, you know, our kids don't watch TV, I think, during the day. They only watch on weekends. And we were like, what? Okay, I was like, what? That is possible? So I remember the next week, because Mimi, I am a mama of action. Mimi nikiona kitu and it's going to be like very, very beneficial, I like to implement it almost immediately. So I remember the next week My kids did not know what was coming. Immediately they came from school. In fact, that weekend, I remember sitting them down and telling them, you know what, from now on, we are not going to be watching cartoon or TV rather during the week. You're only going to be watching it over the weekend, and it's just for a specific period of time, like maybe an hour or 2 hours. And at first, obviously, there was a little bit of resistance because, you know, they had become so accustomed to, they come home from school, they watch TV, they watch whatever they are watching. And then now if they want to go and play, they play. If they don't want to go and play, they can just watch TV. But what I realized with it is that it would actually make them sometimes not even want to go outside to play. Like they just want to sit in the house, chill, watch TV, watch movies, watch whatever they are watching. And they wouldn't really be active in terms of activities. And I feel like that actually it does in a way, because if you are like me, I am born 95, so we grew up in the era of, you would go outside, you would play kati, you'd play bano, you'd play kora, and there wasn't like phones and technology, and because of that we were forced to have to be creative with what we were doing outside. So we would go outside, come up with games, we play around us. I remember it used to be such a blast with some of my friends, Vinny, Joni, Chebi, like Cynthia. It was so nice. Like we would go outside, play games, because we didn't have a phone back then. And then now when phones started coming in, I feel like where now not only does it limit now how much the kids go outside, but also even you as a parent, if you're not careful, you can spend your whole time on the phone. Because for me, because social media is a big part of what I do, so I'm always trying to see, have I responded to emails? Have I given feedback on this? Have I finished this project that the client wants? Have I received feedback? Is this one approved? Like everything that the major things are on social media. So I find myself often just online, whether I'm on Instagram researching. That's what I usually tell myself. I'm on Instagram researching, but then tanza ku research and then tanza tu hapo kucheka cheka na mamimza ziko. So yeah, I think that we should give our kids a little bit of time, a little extra years, just so they can come into themselves and really know who they are before you get exposed to the perception that the world wants you to have, whether they want you to have long hair or short hair, or a big bust or a small bust, or thin or fat or hippie or curvy. Like no, like let children be children and form their values when they're still early on. And then even when they get to that age where they feel like, okay, so I am ready for social media, and we do buy their phones. I remember I got my first phone when I was in class 8, and I cried. I remember on my birthday I thought that my dad would get me a phone, and then when he came home and he didn't have a phone, I was pissed. And now looking back, it's like that was so immature of me, because he had so many responsibilities. Like surely, well, but anyway, I got a phone like I think a few days after that. But it was the Kabambi phones, and it was just for communication and for playing snakes and ladders, just the basics. But it felt good to have a phone. But then in this day and age that we live in, where there's so much craziness online on the internet, there's so many questionable characters. Yeah, I think it's only prudent that we just give our kids a bit of time before they get to have to be exposed to that kind of life, to that kind of world. This sounds really, really weird, but can we normalize fat noses? I know you just contoured my nose, but
oh, the irony! It's too much!
Guys, maybe not naturally my nose looks like this. Okay, like, can we just normalize fat noses and not be pretending like our noses snatched like them Caucasians? Because our noses are not. I'm still gonna put the contour though, because it looks cute. You know, something that I found as a makeup artist, I find, okay, not as a makeup artist, as an African, I would say, and especially very subliminally, I find that people would tell me things like, especially when I have my natural hair out, because Mimi, I am usually not even bothered to do anything with my hair. I usually find that people usually tell me, when are you gonna do something with your hair? Unashuka lini ama unanyoa lini? And I'm just sometimes usually so baffled, because I'm like, I can look like this and me feel like I look good. If you don't feel like I look good, that's on you. Okay? And me, on the other hand, they kind of confidence. I'm using this Anache setting spray. I bought this one and the mattifying one today. There's the one that I had been using. I'm really not a big fan of it, so I want to try these ones. I tried them on my makeup client. Akirin is over there just telling me, it's time, mama, it's time. So we're gonna spritz the whole face. I'm not gonna spray on my eyeshadow because it's matte and I don't want it to start breaking up and separating. Alrighty. So I really find it so, it does not smell good at all. Like, can we normalize putting nice perfumes or nice scents on products? That does not smell nice. So I find it so interesting that it usually looks, we have been accustomed to feel like if you are wearing out your natural hair, then it doesn't look put together. It doesn't look as put together as if like I'm wearing a wig. But maybe I love my natural hair. It is hard, it is unruly, it does whatever it wants to do, whenever it wants to do it. Like it will it's just unruly and it's hard. And then yani, it's just African, it's just untamed, wild wild hair, and I really love it. And even when I was in high school, I once or twice have relaxed my hair, and just because I feel like it was so hard even to maintain back then, so I would either relax my hair or cut it short, just because I was like, who is going to start? And that time things like hair routine and CG, do this to your hair, CG for C hair, CG, I don't even know what kind of hair what kind of type my hair is. If for C is hard one, I am definitely for F, because mine is even tougher than that. But hey. And wigs are beautiful and they're great, but when I have my natural hair out, I look good. Okay, I don't care if you don't think I look good. May look good, and I continue to look good, and I love it. So our natural hair is beautiful. I think we should really embrace it and normalize it and have it like come back and start trending again. You know what I mean? Just like the way wigs are trending right now. Like my natural hair nikapona ki afro kinatosha navy, and I'm like trying it. And can we just humbly talk about medium rare meat? Like, what is that? And why are you not serious with life? Why mbona unakula mnyama akiwa tu hivyo? Hajapikwa ndani kwa ndani, unamkula tu akiwa hivyo. Wewe na lion, no difference. Kwanza unaweza survive. When you go to the jungle, you will survive very well, because you're just used to eating raw meat. I went to the restaurant the last time, and then the waitress was like, so, because I ordered steak, she was like, okay, so how do you like your steak? I'm like, well done. Like, after the well done it again, because I am not about to eat some raw meat, which I feel like is so interesting for me to say, because I like medium than eggs. And I never used to, and I used to really shanga with Ian when I would see him eating like runny eggs, and I was like, why are you doing that? Until one time I tried it and then I didn't like it, and I tried it another time and I didn't like it, and then I tried it one more time and I loved it, and I was like, wow, this is definitely the way to go. So runny eggs, yes, but medium rare meat. We're in a lion. Same was up. I said what I said. Okay, so we are done with the look. My last one, and this one, I say it like, I feel like with love, but at the same time, I feel like I haven't had anybody saying it, and it's something that I've really been feeling for a long time, and it's in regards to therapy. And I feel like therapy is such an amazing tool, especially when it comes to dealing with traumas and past hurts and just everything that comes with life. But here is like the other side that I feel like is not abandoning your faith and your relationship with God completely because of therapy, but using them hand in hand. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, therapy is amazing, but don't let it be your only tool in your healing, because to be honest, I know people who have done therapy, who have been doing it for years and years and years, and still feel like they're in a place where they feel stuck, and where they still haven't healed fully. So in as much as I know there are so many other benefits to therapy, I feel like not forgetting and not completely replacing it with belief in God and actually leaning on Him and trusting in Him for true healing, and just to be able to actually not only get you through that situation, but actually to heal it all and to make everything fresh again. I hope I'm making sense. I'm not bashing therapy in any way. All I'm saying is not abandoning God and fully depending on therapy, but putting them together, because God can also use therapy in your healing and in that journey that you are in, even as you strive to be the best version of yourself, regardless of the traumas, regardless of the past hurts and experiences that we have been through. So yeah, I think that is my last sort of unpopular opinion. I know I haven't had that before, but I think it was important for me to just throw it in there, because in as much as we are really pushing for therapy and for people to you know seek help, and it's really, really important, let's not forget to also encourage people. And I know there's usually this whole debate about, you know, the church did this to me, or, you know, I don't like that religious thing. But I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about relationship, and actually understanding that your Father who created you, who loves you, cares enough and cares even more than that to be able to get you through and to be able to help you to heal from whatever it is that you have gone through, and things whether unsaid or said. So yeah, I think just combining the two is really, really important, and not just depending on therapy alone in your journey of healing. So yeah, this is the final look, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on our next video. Bye.